Welcome to my channel, everyone. My name's Nicole Turner with Nicole Turner Yoga. I'm a yoga, breathwork, and meditation teacher and sound healing facilitator, passionate about sharing all types of wellness modalities to help people enhance their lives. Today's video is going to be a short Yin Yoga video for spinal kind of fluidity, spinal movement, spinal opening, and stretching. So just kind of really getting into some twisting and some of my favorite stretches and movements that I think are essential for spinal care. All right, we're gonna get started off in a comfortable seated position, maybe sitting on a prop, yoga block, bolster, blanket, pillow, getting the hip sit bones lifted up, the hips being able to tilt forward a little bit, and just starting this process of spinal awareness, right? So we want the hips and kind of root base of the spine grounded into something. And then the hips are underneath the shoulders as our torso starts to extend up. You'll maybe even put your hands on the sides of your body and kind of have this energy and movement of going up and lengthening. Then we pull the chin in towards the neck, start to feel that lengthening in the upper spine, your cervical spine or your neck, yeah? And then you can even start to imagine energy rising further, all the way up through the head and rising up out of the head towards the ceiling or sky. Close down the eyes when you're ready and start to become aware of your breath. Taking nice big inhales and exhales here, slowly transitioning from a busy external experience to a slower, more internal, maybe even quieter one. It might feel a little uncomfortable here in the beginning, especially if you're newer to these practices. You might feel antsy, or you might feel sensation and pain in the body, cramping, twitching, all kinds of things happen as our nervous system is like, hey, what are you doing? I'm not used to this. I promise, the more you show up, the more you practice, the more you can just sit and breathe through some of the uncomfortableness of the practice in the beginning, the easier it becomes, and then one day it's so enjoyable. We'll take a couple more big rounds of breath here, really paying attention to the inhale, and you can envision it almost as this white luminous light glowing from the base of the spine. And as you breathe in, imagine watching this breath travel, this glowing ball of white light glowing up through the torso, the spine, up past the crown of the head, maybe hovering there at the top. And then on the exhale, you can imagine the light going back down through the body, all the way back down to our root, the base of the spine. We'll take another big breath in here, just noticing how you feel today. And open mouth release. Beautiful. All right, we're going to begin by opening our eyes, and we'll start off in one of my favorite Yin Yoga poses called dangling pose. This is the only Yin Yoga pose that is standing on our feet. So we're going to move our props off to the side here, and we're going to fold forward. And you can take a wide stance here. I like to take the feet really wide, ground down into the earth, spread the toes, kind of all four sides of the feet are grounding down. Bends in the knees, especially if the lower part of the body is tight. You want to kind of slowly straighten and bend. Take it easy, go into this nice and slow. Yeah, if you get lightheaded and you feel like you can't handle it, then you're gonna just stay more about here at a halfway lift.
But if it feels okay, you're gonna slowly come down all the way, and you want the crown of the head towards the earth or mat, and you want your gaze back between the legs. And this then ensures you've got full kind of dangling sensation. You're upside down. This is an inversion. So many benefits to getting upside down and having our fluid and water and blood in the body going the opposite direction. You can take any movements here that feel good, anything organic, maybe some swaying side to side. You can grab opposite elbows and actually dangle here. Big open mouth exhales, let tension out, let stress and heat out of the body. Maybe bending and straightening the legs, swaying back and forth. Let gravity fully take over here. We want to imagine our spine now, and as we dangle upside down, imagine the space in between the vertebrae starting to lengthen and grow. Couple more big inhales and exhales here. Maybe a twist of the head side to side, yes and no. I love a good lion's breath in this pose, opening the mouth as wide as you can so you can get into your face and jaw muscles, and then stick out the tongue on the exhale. Shaking things out, moving things around here. This is a great first pose to do before you do anything else in Yin Yoga. It really starts to just help the body, the mind settle, helps to move energy, calming those fluctuations in the body. We'll take one more big breath in here, fill up. And open mouth, lion's breath, stick out the tongue. Beautiful. On the next inhale, you're going to slowly bend the knees deeply, coming down to almost a squat. And then you are going to squat. And we're just going to take a quick yoga squat or yogic squat. Take a block or some type of prop, and you're going to put it under your sit bones here. And if you can, keep the toes out a little bit, heels in, elbows come to the inside of the hips or the knees, hands to prayer position, and we'll just let that all settle. Especially if you're newer to inversions, getting upside down, that can be really intense. You can get lightheaded easily. You want to make sure you come down nice and slow and then pause and let all that sensation and fluid rush back to its original position. Another big breath in here, fill up. Maybe you sit up a little bit taller by pressing the elbows into the knees, knees into the elbows. Sitting up a little bit taller, lengthen the spine here again. Crown of the head's rising. Pull the chin in. And then open mouth release. Maybe another lion's breath here feels good. All right, when you're ready, we're gonna slowly come forward, come off of your prop, put the props up towards the top of the mat, and then we're gonna come down on hands and knees. So tabletop position, and we're gonna get into cat-cow, which isn't technically a yin yoga pose, but this is essential for spinal kind of flexion and extension and just spinal health in general. So we're going to, if you need something under the knees, support your knees here by folding your mat or putting a blanket or something under your knees. And we'll start our cat-cow. So if you're newer to cat-cow, cat is dropping the belly, opening the chest forward, and then a slight gaze up with the eyes here. Think about a heart opener or a back bend. Breathe in.
And then exhale, you're gonna do the exact opposite. Tuck, round, and curl. Press the ground away from you as you curl the chin in, gaze towards the navel, and then really press up through the upper back, that space in between the shoulder blades. And this is our flexion, rounding of the spine. And we'll do that a couple more times. Inhaling. And exhaling. You can do this at your own pace. You can start to move in any other directions. Maybe a side-to-side movement with the hips feels good. Maybe some head and neck rolls feel nice. I like this figure 8 movement with the body, kind of getting into all those parts that feel kind of tight. A little bit of side body opening, shoulder goes towards hip. You can do that side to side. You can also get into the feet here by tucking the toes and sitting back a little bit on the feet, having the sit bones go towards those heels. You can also get into the forearms and wrists by taking the fingers the other direction, facing the knees. Couple more breaths here, just noticing how you're feeling. Just noticing how you're doing. With really some awareness now of the whole spine. All right, we'll take another breath in here. And another breath out. All right, when you're ready, we're gonna come down to sitting and we'll get into our kind of lateral sides. So this isn't obviously our spine, but really good to get into the front of the torso, the back, and then the side bodies when we're talking about spinal fluidity and spinal kind of health, right? Same thing with the hips, right? We're not just doing inner and outer hips, you want to get all 4 sides of your hips. So we'll start on the right side first, left hand down, inhale, right arm up, and then we're gonna lean over towards the left. Feeling this nice long stretch all the way from the right hip through the right side body and even up through the arm and out the fingers. If you need something to put the hand on, you can put it on a prop. You can also bring the elbow down if that feels good. 3 rounds of breath here. Open mouth exhale at any point in time. Again, to release heat, tension, to come back to the present moment. Grounding that right hip down as we reach and fold. One more here. On the next inhale, we'll come back up to center. Ooh, come up nice and slow. Those side body stretches are quite intense. I had a little pop in my spine and kind of low back there. And then we'll switch sides. So bringing maybe a block over to the right side. We're gonna have the right hand down, left hand up on the inhale. And then exhale, folding down to whatever feels good in your body. So it might just be a little bit, it might be kind of halfway like I am. Maybe you don't even need a prop and you've got your elbow all the way down. That's a little too intense for me, so I'm gonna go about halfway here. Ground that left hip down, inhaling all the way up through the left side now, the arm, out the fingers. 3 of those. All right, beautiful. So inhaling, coming back up to center, nice and slow. And then we're just gonna sit here for a moment and let that settle. In between the yin poses, we just take a little bit of time to come back to our original shapes, to let all the muscles and nerves and tendons and ligaments settle down, preventing injury, but also giving us some time to just practice doing nothing, helping us to prepare for things like meditation, helping us to just learn that it's okay to just be, and not having something to do every second of every day. Giving our systems a break, recharging our systems. We'll take another inhale here and exhale. Awesome. Next, we're going to get into some twisting. So you can open your eyes. We can't really talk about spinal health without twists. This is a huge part of spinal health. So we're going to do some supine twists. Supine means laying down on your back. And we'll start on the right side. So I'm going to take myself over to the left side of my mat and scooting those hips over to the left. Knees are going to go to the right. And you're going to try to kind of have this be a little bit of a right angle. Of course, if the knees need to go lower or higher, that's totally fine. And then once you're kind of right on that right hip, you want to take your arms out wide and maybe to a T, maybe to goalposts, depending on how close you are to something. And grounding that upper back down. Sometimes it helps then to look over to the opposite shoulder, and that helps to take this left shoulder down, which often can be up a little bit. If it won't go down, place something underneath it. We've got 3 rounds of breath here. A prop can go then under the knees, in between the knees. You can have one leg straight, one leg bent, up to you. Noticing how it feels to breathe in this twist. Rinsing yourself out from the inside. One more inhale here. And exhale. We'll come back to center. Knees in towards chest. Give yourself a little hug, a little squeeze, maybe rocking side to side. Feels good. Rounding the spine a little bit here, and some movement and massage after a twist can be really nice. Even a little bit of circles, clockwise, counterclockwise. And then we'll go to the other side. So hips over to the right, knees to the left. Again, support yourself with props if needed. And we're gonna take those arms out wide, either to goalposts or to a T. Palms can be up or down. Head can be straight, or we're looking over that right shoulder this time. And again, that helps to kind of ground down that shoulder, if that feels okay in your neck. 3 rounds of breath here. Noticing all the sensation in the body when you breathe. Maybe feeling into some different parts here. As we twist, it can feel a little restrictive, a little challenging. You want to keep breathing even deeper. Teaching yourself to breathe through challenges in life. When the body starts to restrict and tense up, when you're challenged, keep breathing to keep the nervous system nice and calm and settled. One more inhale and exhale here. When you're ready, we're going to slowly come back to center. Knees again in towards the chest. Give yourself a little hug or squeeze. rocking side to side if that feels good. And then we'll just take another transition. Straighten out the legs here. Laying flat on the back. Couple rounds of breath just to observe, just to witness yourself in this moment, how you're feeling, how you're doing. Maybe coming back to the moment if you've wandered off to the present, or the future or the past. We want to be in the present. Just noticing how it feels again to have nothing to achieve. We're just practicing being alive, being human. All right, when you're ready, we'll slowly come up, and we've got one more pose to do. Now we're getting into a heart opener or back bend. I know we did a little of that with cat-cow, but we're gonna get into it a little bit more here since we did a longer forward fold with that dangling pose. I wanna get you a little bit longer of a back bend. So supported fish pose. First block here is vertical in between the shoulder blades. Second block is underneath the head on the first height. So you want your heart essentially here and that kind of mid-back region a little bit higher than the head. Head can stay kind of neutral, or you can tilt the head back, chin up to open up the throat and the heart here. Legs can be straight, arms can be out to the sides, or even up overhead if you have space there. That might feel good. You want to feel this nice opening all through the chest, the shoulders, the armpits. 3 rounds of breath here. Again, we're getting into all 4 sides of the spine. The back, the front, the sides, twisting. These are all movements you can think of, and you can do lots of different types of movements. These aren't the only movements, these aren't the only poses, these are just a couple. There's lots of different ways if you start thinking about these kind of movement groups, right? That's how I like to think of yoga poses, as movement groups, trying to get in at least one in each group each day, keeping things moving, keeping things fluid and flexible, so I can move about my day with a little bit more ease, so things don't get pulled or tighten up or cramp or pinched, right? I have way less pinched nerves these days when things are nice and loose and flexible and open. We'll take another inhale here. Open the heart space, feel it rise. And then open mouth release. Beautiful. When you're ready, you can slowly start to move yourself off of the props, putting them off to the side. And then we'll come back up to a comfortable seated position, maybe even sitting back on a prop. Keep the eyes closed here for a couple moments. Just notice how you feel. Your physical state, maybe your emotional state, your thought patterns, your energy. Hopefully you feel a little bit lighter, maybe more free, maybe even things like content, safe, secure, confident. Maybe you feel a little bit more compassion or empathy or love for yourself or others. Maybe you're having an aha moment or some clarity about something. Maybe you feel this divine connection with something bigger. These are all things that might come up after you do these practices. As we open the chakra system, our energy centers, all kinds of feelings and sensations and thoughts can occur. Calming those fluctuations in the body and mind, take us back to what we are. A divine light of wisdom and love that's free. We'll take another big breath in here, fill up. Open mouth, release. Beautiful. When you're ready, you can open up the eyes. I want to thank you again for joining me today. Again, my name's Nicole Turner, Nicole Turner Yoga. I'm a yoga, breathwork, and meditation teacher and sound healing facilitator, passionate about sharing all of these wellness modalities to help people enhance their lives. I hope you enjoyed that Yin Yoga for spinal fluidity and spinal health today. If you'd like to practice with me for a longer session, you can check out my schedule at NicoleTurnerYoga.com. Go to the schedule tab, see all the options to practice with me online or in person. And I hope to connect with you soon, virtually or in person somewhere around the world. Take care.